why photogrammetry? It's a really, really important tool to have in your toolbox, and it's simple and it's effective. And I can't stress enough the simple aspect. A lot of you understand, the camera. A lot of you own a camera or you have access to a camera that you can use. So that's great, right? Most people have, phones and everything else. And the other thing is that it's super effective. When it works really, really well. So these 2 points here are super important, but I would stress the simple part. The other thing that's super useful about photogrammetry is that it's very fast to deploy and it's very fast to document. Fast to deploy because it's right here. So the fact that it is usually within arm's reach, it's on your body and everything is great. And it's fast, it's quick to get going. You don't need to calibrate it. You don't need to let it sit there and warm up or anything like that. It just kind of get it out and then you can get going. Also the documentation time. So when you compare how quickly you can take photographs when compared to other technologies, let's say an intersection or a set of cars in front of me, the time it takes for me to take photographs, around the car a few times is much faster than it would be to laser scan. So that's a huge plus, okay? The time that's in the field is reduced. Another point about photogrammetry, and this is something that it has an advantage of over some other technologies, and that's because it's versatile and it's flexible for small and large objects. So on the left here, you're seeing that this is a cartridge case and it's very small, right? So we're only talking about, less than a centimeter across. So if it's something small, I can photograph it. If it's something large, like a big parking lot or a section of roadway, whatever, that's something else that I can also do. If you've got a drone, it's really just about how you can take the pictures. So it's an interesting thing that when you think about the scale of the objects that you can do, if you have to do something very, very small or you have to do something very, very big, okay, photogrammetry is super, super useful in that regard. And that's very different from something like a laser scanner. And the reason is a laser scanner will have a manufacturer's set accuracy. But with photogrammetry, you get a choice for a wide range of objects, and that's super important. The nice part of photogrammetry too is that you can work with everything from free software right up to, paid software, which is, fully featured and has all kinds of bells and whistles. And the interesting thing there is that you can do a lot with very, very little. If you've got a couple $100 or if you're on a budget and you got to work with free software, you can create 3D models with free software. And that's a great, great option. We already are equipped for photogrammetry. So the point here is that all of you already have the equipment, okay, some form of equipment for photogrammetry. So, laser scanner, you got to buy, you got to get a hold of the technology or the equipment first. But right now, in terms of the documentation, you already have the equipment to document. Even if you know nothing about photogrammetry software or how to process, you can take your phone, you can take your digital camera, you can go out, and so long as you know how to take the photographs and how to take them properly, right, you're going to be good to go. You're going to be good to process those images at some point in the future because you've locked all that data in 3D away. So that's really good. Now, another point about photogrammetry is that it allows you to do things that are difficult or impossible otherwise. But the fact is, when you're capturing something in 3D, there are certain things that you can do to the data, okay, or even how you capture the data that would just be very difficult to do otherwise, and sometimes just impossible.